Are you an older guy wondering how to spark instant attraction with younger women? You've probably heard comments like, "You're too old for me," and maybe it felt like a rejection. But what if those words weren't the end of the conversation, but the beginning of an opportunity? This video sets out to dismantle men's common insecurities when confronted with age comments, and provides a transformative perspective on how to turn these challenges into opportunities. By the end, you'll understand why your age is not a disadvantage, but also learn how to use it to your advantage, reframing these moments into pathways for more profound attraction and connection. Let's start with the elephant in the room, age remarks. Phrases like, "You're too old for me," can feel like a punch to the gut, especially if you've already struggled with self-doubt about dating someone younger. Most men hear such comments and immediately assume rejection. They shrink back, embarrassed, unsure of how to proceed. But what if I told you these remarks aren't rejections at all? What if there are opportunities, tests even, that when handled correctly could make you irresistibly attractive? This video aims to give you the tools to survive and thrive in these moments. One of the most transformative shifts you'll learn is how to craft the perfect response. Imagine hearing a younger woman say something about your age, and instead of freezing up, justifying yourself, or feeling defensive, you meet her comment with playful confidence. A quick, light-hearted reply can turn what seemed like a dismissal into a flirtatious exchange. For instance, when she says, "You're too old for me," you might casually respond, "I know, I should be collecting my pension by now, right?" Or even, "True, I'm ancient. How did you guess I fought in the world wars?" The humor disarms her, and the confidence intrigues her. Suddenly, the dynamic shifts in your favor. What seemed like a barrier becomes the very thing that draws her in. Confidence isn't just about having the right words. It's also about understanding why you, as an older man, are uniquely attractive to younger women. The video delves into this insight, breaking down the qualities that make you stand out. You've lived, you've learned, you've built a life filled with stories, experiences, and wisdom. Younger women are naturally drawn to men who exude maturity, emotional stability, and the kind of presence that comes with age. When you embody these traits unapologetically, you signal that you are a high-value man who doesn't need to chase validation because he already knows his worth. This shift in mindset is crucial. Too many men spend their time trying to explain themselves, defend their choices, or prove they're young at heart. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't about trying to convince someone of your value. It's about owning and letting them see it for themselves. The video promises to show you how to internalize this mindset, replacing insecurity with a quiet, magnetic confidence. When you stop trying to qualify yourself and instead embrace your authenticity, you become the man who stands out, the man women want to know more about. Of course, understanding your worth is only part of the equation. The other part is learning how to communicate effectively. That's where the actionable strategies in this video come into play. You'll discover how to reframe age comments in a way that sparks curiosity and attraction rather than shutting down the conversation. Instead of treating such remarks as obstacles, you'll see them as opportunities to showcase your charm and wit. This reframing isn't just a trick, it's a shift in how you approach interactions. It's about stepping into your power as an older man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to go after it. One of the most exciting promises of this video is that the techniques you'll learn don't just make age differences irrelevant, they make them part of the attraction. When you handle comments about your age with grace and humor, you send a powerful message. I'm comfortable in my skin, and I don't need your approval to feel good about myself. This kind of composure is magnetic. It tells her that you're a man who's lived enough to know who he is, and that confidence is irresistible. Beyond just handling remarks about age, the video emphasizes strategies that foster meaningful connections. You'll learn how to instantly create rapport, drawing younger women into genuine and exciting interactions. This isn't about manipulation or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about authenticity, showing up as the best version of yourself and inviting her to see the value in who you are. Ultimately, this video is about empowerment. It's about taking control of your narrative, refusing to let insecurities about age dictate your dating life, and stepping into a confident, charismatic, and undeniably attractive version of yourself. The techniques and insights shared are designed to change not only the way you see yourself, but also the way others see you. With the right mindset and tools, you can transform every interaction, leaving behind the fears of rejection and stepping into the world of possibility. This is more than just a video for older men looking to date younger women. It's a guide, a resource, and a wake-up call to the truth that your age is not a limitation but a strength. When you understand how to leverage it, you'll make age differences irrelevant and make them a cornerstone of your dating success. So, take a deep breath, let go of the doubts, and step forward with the confidence and clarity that comes from knowing you're exactly the man you need to be. So, it's essential to realize that age isn't just a number, but something that sets you apart and makes you uniquely attractive. Instead of seeing it as a barrier, see it as an advantage. A unique asset you can leverage to build meaningful and lasting relationships. There's an undeniable charm that comes with age. Yet, many older men fail to recognize their inherent advantages in dating, especially when connecting with younger women. Society often bombards us with the idea that youth equals desirability, but this perspective overlooks the unique and powerful attributes that older men bring. Age can be your greatest asset when leveraged correctly, turning potential insecurities into undeniable strengths. First, let's address the qualities that naturally come with age. Older men are often seen as more mature, a trait that appeals immensely to younger women. Maturity translates to emotional stability, dependability, and the ability to navigate life's challenges with calm and collected confidence. Women, especially those looking for more than just casual fun, find these qualities incredibly attractive. They value the steadiness and assurance that older men often exude, qualities that are harder to come by in younger counterparts still finding their footing in life. Experience is another undeniable draw. Life has likely taught you many lessons, both in relationships and beyond. This experience signals wisdom and capability, two traits that inspire trust and admiration. Younger women are naturally drawn to men who can guide, support, and provide valuable insights, qualities often from years of navigating triumphs and setbacks. Older men have already walked the road of self-discovery, unlike younger men, who may still experiment with their careers, identities, and emotional responses. This seasoned perspective can create a sense of intrigue and respect, setting you apart as a partner who knows what he wants and how to achieve it. Intelligence is another cornerstone of your appeal. By reaching your 40s, 50s, or beyond, you've likely accumulated a wealth of knowledge through formal education, professional endeavors, or simply the school of life. This intellectual depth often manifests in meaningful conversations, the ability to articulate thoughts clearly, and an understanding of human interactions' nuances. Younger women appreciate men who can challenge them intellectually, introduce them to new ideas, and hold engaging discussions beyond surface-level topics. It's not about impressing them with facts or showing off your credentials. It's about using your insights to connect in a genuine and impactful way. Then there's the matter of high social value. By this stage, many older men have achieved financial and professional stability that younger men can't compete with. While it's easy to misinterpret this as women being gold diggers, the truth is far more nuanced. Younger women are drawn to men with the resources, time, and emotional bandwidth to invest in a relationship. Financial stability is a sign of responsibility, discipline, and the ability to provide a secure environment. This isn't about flaunting wealth, but rather about showcasing the confidence and competence that come with having built a solid foundation for your life. The appeal of older men is not just anecdotal, it's backed by biology. Studies have consistently shown that women, whether consciously or unconsciously, are predisposed to prefer older men. Evolutionarily, it makes sense. Older men historically represented providers, protectors, and individuals capable of ensuring the survival and well-being of their partners and offspring. While modern dating may no longer revolve around survival, these deep-seated instincts still shape attraction. Younger women often gravitate toward men who embody the qualities of strength, stability, and wisdom, all of which are typically more pronounced in older individuals. Real-world examples further illustrate this point. Take Marn, for instance, who married a man 10 years her senior. Her decision wasn't an anomaly, but a reflection of a dynamic that has played out countless times. She found his maturity, experience, and stability to complement her youthful energy and ambition. Another example comes from a neighbor who met her husband, who was 25 years old and her senior when she was just 23. The age gap didn't hinder their connection. Instead, it was strengthened by the balance they brought to each other's lives. His life experience and her youthful perspective created a dynamic partnership that thrived on mutual respect and admiration. So what's the takeaway here? Age, far from being a barrier, can be a tremendous asset in dating, if you know how to leverage it. The key lies in understanding and embracing your unique value as an older man. Confidence is the foundation of this success. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for authenticity. They want to see a man who is comfortable in his skin, understands his worth, and knows how to communicate that worth without arrogance or defensiveness. Your age is part of your story, and it's a story worth telling. Please don't shy away from it or feel the need to justify it. Instead, let it serve as a testament to the life you've lived and the wisdom you've gained. When you carry yourself with assurance and focus on building genuine connections, you'll find that younger women are drawn to you and see your age as a feature, not a flaw. Ultimately, success in dating younger women doesn't hinge on appearing younger or more hip. It comes from embracing who you are and the unique advantages your age affords you. When you shift your mindset from seeing age as a limitation to recognizing it as an asset, you unlock a new level of attraction and connection. And when that happens, the age gap becomes irrelevant. What matters most is the undeniable chemistry and mutual respect that form the foundation of any great relationship. However, building that harmony is not always easy, especially when challenges and misunderstandings arise. One common situation is facing seemingly contemptuous comments from younger women, which can put many older men off. Are these comments as harmful as we think? Or is it just a younger women's tests? Many older men are caught off guard by seemingly dismissive comments like, "You're too old." It's a remark that can feel like a jab, an outright rejection, or even a deal breaker. But what if I told you that these comments are rarely as harmful as they seem? Understanding what's happening beneath the surface could be the key to turning these moments into opportunities for deeper connection and attraction. First, let's unpack why younger women make such comments. It's crucial to realize that these remarks are rarely personal attacks. They're not about belittling you or shutting you down. Instead, they're a natural, instinctive behavior rooted in how women assess potential partners. Younger women often test older men to gauge two critical qualities: confidence and value. Confidence is self-explanatory. Women want to see how you react under pressure, handle unexpected challenges, and stay composed and assured when the dynamic shifts. A confident man who isn't easily rattled signals strength and stability, universally attractive qualities. Value, on the other hand, is about more than just surface-level attributes. Women want to see if their demeanor aligns with the maturity, stability, and social standing they expect from an older man. If your reaction to their comment is defensive, awkward, or overly self-conscious, it can undermine the very qualities they're subconsciously hoping to find in you. These remarks are a litmus test for your composure, emotional intelligence, and overall attractiveness. Think about it this way: a younger woman's comment like "you're too old" is less about your actual age and more about what your response reveals about you. It's a subtle probe to see if you're secure in yourself or if you'll falter. In reality, women instinctively test potential partners to filter out those who might lack the traits they find appealing. These tests are not unique to older men. They're part of how women, regardless of age, assess a man's suitability as a partner. For younger women dating older men, the stakes are slightly different. They're not just evaluating your charm or physical appeal. They're looking for evidence that your age brings with it the advantages of wisdom, stability, and confidence. Here's the reality check many older men need to hear. These comments are rarely outright rejections. Sure, they might sting at the moment, especially if you interpret them at face value, but most of the time, these remarks are nothing more than playful challenges. They're subtle ways for women to see if they can handle a little scrutiny and rise above it with poise. A man who can respond without missing a beat, who can turn what could be a negative moment into an opportunity for humor or connection, instantly elevates himself in her eyes. Many men's problem is that they misinterpret these comments as definitive judgments. They freeze up, become defensive, or try to over-explain themselves, inadvertently signaling insecurity. What younger women are looking for is how you handle the moment. A confident response not only diffuses the tension, but also demonstrates that you're comfortable in your skin. It shows that you're not desperate for validation and that you're someone who knows his worth regardless of external opinions. So what does a confident response look like? It doesn't mean delivering a rehearsed comeback or trying to prove your value through words. Instead, it's about staying calm, playful, and self-assured. For example, if a woman says, "You're too old," a relaxed response might be something as simple as, "I know, right?" Or, "Yep, and you're still here talking to me." These kinds of replies are lighthearted and disarmingly casual, and most importantly, they shift the dynamic. They show that you're not taking the comment personally and have the self-possession to navigate the situation quickly. The key takeaway is that younger women's tests are opportunities, not obstacles. There are moments when you can showcase the qualities that make you attractive: your maturity, confidence, and ability to maintain composure under pressure. Instead of seeing these remarks as barriers, treat them as a game where your ability to stay playful and secure is the winning move. Dating as an older man doesn't require you to be something you're not. It's not about trying to prove that you're younger than you are or desperately defending your age. It's about owning who you are and leveraging the unique strengths that come with your experience. Younger women are drawn to older men for a reason. They value the wisdom, stability, and charisma that only come with age. But to fully embrace these advantages, you must pass the confidence test. You have to show that you're not just an older man, You're a man who knows exactly what he brings to the table and isn't afraid to let his actions speak louder than his words. So the next time you hear "you're too old," don't let it throw you. Smile, stay composed, and respond with confidence. Remember, it's not about the words, but how you handle them. And when you handle them well, you'll find that what seemed like a challenge was an opportunity to deepen the attraction. How to get the best out of work. But being confident isn't enough. How you project that confidence is also crucial. Sometimes, your unconscious reactions to sensitive situations reveal the insecurities you're trying to hide. This is where many older men slip. To avoid falling into that trap, let's look at the most common mistakes and, more importantly, how to avoid them so you can maintain the charisma you deserve. Unfortunately, many men make the mistake of reacting in ways that undermine their chances, project insecurity, and lack confidence. Here are the 3 most common errors older men make when interacting with younger women and why they should be avoided. The first and perhaps most common mistake older men make is what I like to call explainer mode. This is when a man feels the need to justify or qualify his age, often in an overzealous and unnecessary way. You might be familiar with phrases like, "I don't look my age," "I'm in great shape and dress well," or even, "Older guys are more mature and better in bed." While these statements may be factual in some cases, they often come across as defensive and insecure. The problem is that it signals to the woman that you must explain yourself or seek validation. Instead of feeling confident and self-assured, you appear desperate to convince her that you're still relevant, and that desperation is rarely attractive. Women, especially younger ones, are naturally drawn to men who are comfortable in their skin, not those who feel the need to prove themselves. When you try too hard to justify your age, you lower your perceived value and the attraction begins slipping away. Exercise. Another mistake many older men make is freezing up when asked about their age. This can happen when a younger woman comments about your age or asks how old you are. At this moment, many men become awkward, speechless, or overly cautious. The silence and discomfort that follows can be a real turnoff. Instead of handling the situation with grace and confidence, you freeze. This is a problem because it signals a lack of emotional maturity and confidence. Women are instinctively drawn to men who can handle difficult situations with ease and poise, not those who become rattled when faced with a simple question. When you freeze up, you communicate that you're not prepared to engage in the conversation, making the woman uncomfortable. Rather than being intrigued, she may quickly lose interest and write off the interaction as awkward or unworthy of her time. Finally, one of the most damaging reactions an older man can have when confronted about his age is getting angry or defensive. This is often a knee-jerk response, where a man reacts with hostility when he perceives a slight judgment. Phrases like, "That's not a nice thing to say," "You're just immature," or even, "I wouldn't be too old for you if I had a Ferrari," are common. But they rarely work in your favor. They typically backfire. When you get defensive or angry, you project negative energy, which is never attractive. Instead of exuding confidence, you reveal that you're emotionally reactive, insecure, and unable to handle criticism maturely. The problem is that you emphasize the woman's opinion too much. If you respond defensively, you make her remark about your age seem like the center of your world. This only reinforces the idea that you're insecure and overly sensitive. Rather than engaging in an enjoyable conversation, the atmosphere becomes tense, uncomfortable, and unappealing. How you respond to these moments is the key to successfully dating younger women when you're older. Rather than feeling the need to explain yourself, freeze up, or lash out, The goal should be to remain calm, confident, and composed. Confidence is magnetic, and younger women are naturally drawn to older men who can hold their own without being shaken by a simple comment or question. Remember, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Stand your ground. Have confidence and presence. Stand courageously and present yourself as viable, taking pride in your career. Stand your ground and protect your reputation. Your value doesn't come from defending your age or getting upset. It comes from how you carry yourself and the energy you bring to the interaction. The second risk avoidant technique is the avoidance repulse. You'll notice that the power dynamic shifts when you learn to stay calm and confident. You become in control of the interaction, not because of your age, but because of your emotional maturity and self-assurance. This is incredibly attractive to women, especially younger ones who may be looking for someone who exudes stability, confidence, and wisdom. In short, how you handle age comments and questions directly reflects your confidence and self-worth. Avoid making the mistakes of over-explaining, freezing up, or becoming defensive. Instead, focus on maintaining your composure and responding with a sense of humor or lightness. The more comfortable and confident you are in your skin, the more likely you are to capture the attention and admiration of younger women. To do that, master two simple but highly effective tactics that will help you handle sensitive situations skillfully and make a stronger impression on the other person. It's natural to feel insecure when a younger woman comments on your age or implies that you might be too old for her. The key is how you handle such remarks. Instead of withdrawing or becoming defensive, you have an incredible opportunity to turn that moment around and make her more attracted to you than ever. The best way to do this is by mastering two simple but effective tactics. Showing her how self-assured, charismatic, and confident you are. The first tactic is all about playing it off casually. When a younger woman comments on your age, the worst thing you can do is react with defensiveness or awkwardness. Instead, you should respond with calm confidence and a relaxed demeanor. This doesn't mean being dismissive, but instead showing that you're entirely unbothered by her comment. Maintaining this calm, composed attitude automatically elevates your attractiveness in her eyes. Imagine this: you're talking to a younger woman, and she casually mentions your age, perhaps jokingly saying, "Aren't you a little old for me?" This is where you can shine. Instead of over-explaining, getting flustered, or launching into a defense about how young you feel or how well you care for yourself, you can reply with something lighthearted like, "Yeah, sure," or "I know, right?" A subtle, confident response like this conveys that you're secure with yourself. You're not letting her comment affect you. You're not trying to convince her otherwise. Another option could be, "Don't worry, you'll love me anyway," said with a wink or a playful grin. This response showcases your self-assurance and conveys that you're playful and confident in your worth. When a man responds in this manner, it makes him more attractive because it highlights his ability to remain composed in the face of minor challenges. Women are naturally drawn to men who can easily handle uncomfortable situations and show they're not fazed by the trivial things that might rattle someone else. It's a subtle way of demonstrating that you know exactly what you bring. The second tactic is to agree with the comment and then exaggerate it for comedic effect. This might sound counterintuitive, but humor is powerful in building attraction. When you take a potentially awkward or uncomfortable situation and make light of it, you instantly disarm any tension that could have arisen. Not only does it show you're not taking the situation too seriously, but it also reveals confidence and self-deprecation that many women find endearing. So let's go back to the same scenario. She says, "Aren't you a little old for me?" Instead of retreating into self-doubt or giving an explanation, you can reply with something like, "You're right, I fought in both world wars." Of course, this is an exaggeration, and she'll immediately recognize it as a joke. It shows that you don't take yourself too seriously and can laugh at the situation. This kind of playful response can make you more charming. It demonstrates that you are confident enough to make fun of yourself and invites her to join you in a lighthearted moment. Alternatively, "This is all plastic surgery. Should I get a boob job next?" Again, this is an exaggerated, humorous response, but it shows you're comfortable with the age difference and not insecure about it. Humor like this breaks the ice, puts both of you at ease, and encourages a sense of connection and playfulness. When you can laugh about the situation, you convey that any age concerns do not weigh you down. Instead, you're embracing the moment. That positive energy is magnetic. Why do these tactics work so well? It all comes down to confidence and how women perceive it. When you can stay calm and playful in the face of potential rejection or criticism, it signals her that you're a man of high value who isn't easily shaken by trivial remarks. Confidence is attractive because it suggests emotional maturity, stability, and a strong sense of self. When you react with calm assurance or humor, it tells her you're in control of your emotions, increasing her attraction to you. Additionally, using humor and exaggeration conveys that you don't take yourself too seriously. It makes you seem more approachable, less rigid, and most importantly, more fun. Women are not just attracted to a man's looks or achievements, they're drawn to his energy, attitude, and ability to make life enjoyable. By responding with humor, you signal that you can handle life's challenges with a light-hearted approach, which is a beautiful quality. As a man dating a younger woman, it's important to remember that these interactions are an opportunity to demonstrate your maturity, charm, and confidence. Using these two simple tactics, playing it off casually and agreeing with exaggeration, you'll deflect any potential awkwardness and create a connection grounded in humor and ease. Women are naturally drawn to men who can stay composed and confident, regardless of the situation. So the next time you face an age comment, remember that you can turn it into a moment of attraction. With these tactics in your arsenal, you'll become the kind of man that younger women find irresistible. What makes these tactics so effective? The answer lies in a fundamental psychological principle of building charisma: confidence. The psychological principle at the core of successful dating, especially for older men pursuing younger women, revolves around one simple but powerful idea: confidence. Your ability to remain composed and confident in the face of any challenge or comment drives your attractiveness. It doesn't matter if someone comments on your age or tries to put you down with a remark like "you're too old for me." How you respond to that is what matters most. Think about it this way. Every social interaction you have, especially those involving younger women, is a mini test. Like everyone else, women are subconsciously looking for signs of strength, security, and emotional stability. Many older men fail to realize that this test is not about your age or whether you look younger than your years. It's about how you handle yourself when faced with such comments. In other words, the best way to get past these age remarks is not to defend or explain, but to signal through your behavior that you're unbothered, self-assured, and confident. When a younger woman throws out a comment like "you're too old for me," a psychological game is played. She's not necessarily rejecting you outright, but instead is checking to see how you respond to her playful or even challenging remark. And this is where many older men make a critical mistake. Instead of reacting with the ease and composure that comes with self-assurance, many men start justifying themselves. They may launch into explaining how they don't look their age or are still physically fit, thinking that these defenses will somehow change their mind. But in reality, all they're doing is highlighting their insecurity and in turn, lowering their value in her eyes. Confidence is what makes a man magnetic, regardless of age. Think about some of the most attractive qualities a woman looks for in a man. Emotional control, maturity, and a sense of self-worth are all tied to confidence. When you exude these qualities, your age becomes irrelevant. The key is understanding that how you respond to any comment, whether about your age, appearance, or something else, is the moment you either elevate or diminish your value. If you freeze up, get defensive, or go into explainer mode, you immediately signal to her that you're not sure of yourself. And that's the exact opposite of what she's looking for. What makes a response truly powerful is its ability to show that you're unaffected by the comment. Imagine if instead of getting defensive or explaining your age, you smile, maintain eye contact, and casually brush off the comment with a playful remark. Maybe you say something like, "Yeah, I know, right? Just wait until you see how much fun I can be." The key here is not to take the comment too seriously. It shows that you're not bothered by it because you know who you are and are confident. When you stay composed and playful in these moments, you send an unmistakable message. You are a high-value man who doesn't need validation. And this is where your appeal truly begins to skyrocket. By responding in a way that shows you're unbothered, you increase your value in her eyes. She's no longer focused on the age gap. Instead, she's intrigued by your self-assurance. She starts to wonder what spending more time with a man who exudes this kind of confidence would be like. She's attracted to your sense of self-worth, and before long, the age difference seems irrelevant. There's also something psychologically appealing about a man who doesn't let little challenges get under his skin. Life is full of moments where we can either let our emotions get the best of us or choose to stay composed and not let things affect us. When you demonstrate this in your interactions, you're showing that you can handle a harmless comment about your age and that you're the type of man who can handle life's more significant challenges with the same grace. This kind of emotional strength is beautiful. The psychological impact of staying composed and playful can't be overstated. When you handle a challenge with humor or a casual response, you instantly elevate your value in her eyes. You show that you're emotionally mature and that your sense of self is strong enough that her opinion doesn't make or break your confidence. This makes you more desirable because it makes her feel safe and secure in your presence. Moreover, this kind of response allows you to stand out. Many men, especially older men uncertain of their place in the dating world, might shrink or over-explain when faced with an age remark. But you, by keeping your cool and responding in a way that signals self-assurance, are displaying a rare quality that can't be faked and one that every woman is looking for in a potential partner. The result is that younger women will be drawn to you and start to see you as someone who brings value to their lives beyond physical attraction. You become someone who can offer stability, confidence, and emotional strength, the things that are genuinely sexy to a woman, no matter her age. Ultimately, how you respond to these comments reflects who you are as a man. The older man who handles age remarks with grace and confidence isn't just winning the moment, he's showing that he knows his worth. This is the psychological foundation for lasting attraction. Confidence is not just an attractive trait, it's the cornerstone of attraction. So, the next time a younger woman comments about your age, take a deep breath, smile, and show her that you are the kind of man who doesn't need to explain himself. In doing so, you'll elevate her perception of you and realize how irresistible your self-assuredness can be. Thanks for watching. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more tips on building authentic connections. We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. And of course, if you know someone who might benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. Let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next one.